Hi.
Hey! Welcome.
Back.
Ooh.
So
The
fun.
next episode of ATC. I believe this is episode 26.
Dude,
26.
you know what that means?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh.
I was hoping you had an answer. That having some importance.
I don't know.
I was trying to think of someone that is 26.
No, not me. Not yet.
You know? Because it can be like, oh,
I feel like
the
I
golden
don't
year.
ever know anyone that's age 26. I don't ever hear anybody being that age.
Yeah, that's fair.
But hey, after we make our 27th episode, we'll be out of the 27 club.
Yeah,
That's a conspiracy.
that's something.
We need another conspiracy episode.
No, we do actually.
Maybe sometime soon, once it gets to spooky season or something.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Do like a real conspiracy horror
Also-
episode. We do jump scares throughout.
It's like, bah!
We just play like random sounds. Yeah.
Random. Before we get into our high and low tides, I guess this could be a part of my high tide because
Okay.
my high tide I was originally going to talk about is just kind of stupid. So I guess I could add this in. So we're jumping right into it. So my stupid high tide before I get into my cool high tide is that I've been on a coconut water kick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the type of person, like, I will be totally fine and content with everything in my life. And then I see something on Instagram and I'm like, I have to have that,
Right.
like, right now.
Right.
And that happens a lot with, like, food or drinks
Right.
or something. So I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling. And then all of a sudden this guy's like, Gatorade, knocks it out of the frame. You don't want that. Make this healthy alternative. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I've heard the trick of not really trick, but putting lime juice in coconut water makes it taste a lot better because I love the benefits of coconut water, but by itself, I'm just not really a big fan.
Does it taste like coconut?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. I don't know if I ever had coconut water.
Oh, I'll have to have you try
Maybe I
some.
have. I don't remember. I don't know. I love coconut though.
I do too. But like coconut water, just by itself, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. But with lime juice, it's been good. But he was taking it to another level. So he was getting coconut water over ice with lemon and lime juice
little
with
Sprite
some
moment.
salt and some honey. He made it even more intense with some blue spirulina powder to make it blue. But I don't think that changes the taste.
Yeah.
I think that just made it blue. But anyway... ASMR. I'm drinking like 3 of these a day.
Dude.
And it's so good.
Really?
You should just try it.
Right now?
Yeah. This is a blind taste test.
Oh, that is really good.
Isn't it nice and refreshing?
It's very, I feel like that after like being outside.
After like a workout?
Because it's not super sweet,
No.
which is nice.
It's got just like the little citrusy moment.
Because sometimes even Gatorade, it's like
too sweet.
very sweet.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like sweaty or like almost you want something like that. That's nice.
It's very refreshing. And so it's been I go through fixations with food and with like snacks
real.
or treats
That's
or
so
anything.
real.
This is definitely my new fixation. When I tell you, the moment I saw the video, I Uber Eats a bag of lemons, a bag of limes, and a package of coconut water because I didn't feel like leaving my house.
You needed it immediately.
And a man brought it on his bicycle.
Hey.
Anyway, that's my stupid high tide.
I
My
love
cool
that, though.
high
That's
tide
so fun.
is that I saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Finally. Okay, what do you think?
So good.
So good, right?
So good.
Oh my gosh. Did you see it in theaters?
Yes.
Nice.
I saw it in theaters last week.
I love it.
Such a good movie. I mean, like, it just, like, it made me feel nostalgic of, like, old, like, just good Marvel movies, man.
That's what
I
I'm
just
saying,
feel like it hasn't been like that. I did feel like that with Spider-Man No Way Home. I did feel that way. But I think, like, before that, I mean, it had to have been, like, Endgame. Like,
I agree.
I'm trying to think of other movies that have been released lately that made me feel that good.
Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't love Thor Love and Thunder. I did not like that
No.
one.
And then Multiverse of Madness. I wasn't a big fan of
See,
that one.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Yeah.
I do plan on watching it, but I've heard mixed things.
Right. No, but I would definitely say Deadpool and Wolverine, like, reignites your love for
Dude,
just, like,
and
comic movies.
Yes,
It's so fun.
and the thing is that, like, while I'm not a huge fan of the Deadpool movies, I do love Ryan Reynolds, and I think he encompasses that character perfectly.
Literally
But I
complicated by anyone
love
else.
Wolverine, and I grew up, like, with those X-Men movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
dude, it was so good.
So good.
So good. If you haven't seen it, it's just...
Go see Deadpool and
It's so
Wolverine.
good, and the humor is just
Bro.
so funny.
It's nonstop laughing.
Like,
in that movie.
it cracks me up.
So funny. I love it. That's a really good high tide.
It is a good high tide.
That's my favorite. So my high tide actually was just last night for Casting Grace. We had like a little sleepover.
Oh, I saw that. That looked fun.
At Mel's house, and that was really fun. And I love, like, shout out to her. She like went all out. She like we like showed up. She has like this like taco bar, but also has like bowls if you want to do like a bowl. She got like a bunch of Trader Joe's snacks, like sparkling lemonades. She like decorated the house, like some balloons. She literally had a sign that says like girls just want to have fun. Like she was ready, and it was actually the cutest. I know. Like I was so
That's so fun.
And then of course just a little slumber. I've had a sleepover, and I could not tell you. Like
I love a good sleepover.
Like an actual sleepover. Like obviously I've slept like in Ireland. I wasn't sleeping at home, you know, but like an actual like we're all sleeping in like the same space, like watching a movie. When like I was like,
me and my college roommates get together and like we kind of have like those sleepover vibes.
Yeah.
It's fun. Makes you feel like a kid again.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so like girly cute. Yeah. So that was really fun. That's my high tide.
I love that.
Yeah, it was literally last night. So then this morning I came. Oh, and she has amazing. I'm bringing food into my high tide again, but she has absolutely. She was like bragging about it before. She was like, I make these amazing waffles. I was like, all right, yeah, waffles. How amazing can they be? But they were so
really good.
Like,
what made them special?
They had like cookie butter, caramel, like powdered sugar. It was whipped cream. Yeah, she said she like had them at this one place and then had to recreate them, and I benefited from it. So delicious. So yeah, I had that and then went home and took a nap because I didn't get much sleep last night because slumber party. And yeah, now I'm podcasting it up. So all good things. Yeah.
I love that. My low tide is also kind of dumb and doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But sometimes when life is just good, it's only the little things that are like going wrong. Like,
right.
Life is
like
is
a
good.
Testament to goodness.
It is, but like okay, so as we know, and if you don't know, you will. But I'm a gym person.
Breaking news.
I don't talk about it enough.
No.
Try to say that not sarcastically, Hannah. From our last episode.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, sidetrack. When I was listening to that episode, we were going on for so long.
I know.
And I was like, my gosh, you guys just shut up.
I love judging
in my head,
us
I was like,
too.
wow, that was really good.
I love listening to our podcast and just like judging us the whole time. I'm like, who the heck is listening to this?
This is so funny. No, but part of being a gym person is I don't wear my real wedding band and wedding ring to the gym because I'm afraid of it getting damaged. So, I wear like the silicone rings.
Right.
And I just bought like a cheap pack on Amazon. Like it's not something I want to spend more than $20. That's crazy. Like some of these rings are like $20 a ring. And I'm like, that's nuts. I don't have the kind of financials for that. So anyway, I just bought like a pack on Amazon, and so I'd like change out the colors depending on what I was wearing or what I was in the mood for, and there's like thick ones or little thin ones or whatever, and I have them out, and my cat,
Hercules,
guys, my low tide is my cat. He has been driving me nuts lately. I don't know what it is. He has been so clingy. So unbelievably clingy. Like he follows me wherever I go because he acts like he's malnourished. And, like, he's constantly begging for food. And he gets fed, like, 3 to 4 little meals a day.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can't feed him too much at once because he'll eat too much and then he'll get sick.
Right.
But, like, he gets fed plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty. Look at him. Does he look malnourished to you? No. And also, what expenditure is he doing during the day? He sleeps all day. How much energy?
Is that cat burning?
How many calories do you really need? No, he's literally chunky and happy and healthy as he should be. But he acts like he's not. And I swear, I'm like, when people come over, they probably think I'm like malnourishing my pets.
That's so funny.
Because he's just so clingy. So he follows me wherever I go and he jumps up wherever I go on like any counter surface. But he loves to mess with my jewelry. Really, and so he'll like take my earrings or my bracelets and then he'll just throw them on the floor and then they get lost. I can't tell you how many. This is why I don't buy expensive jewelry. Oh my gosh. This is why I buy like Amazon bulk pack of jewelry for like $10 because I know it's going to get lost. I have lost so many earrings and rings and everything because of them. But with my silicone rings for the gym, he likes to eat them. But he doesn't swallow. He just chews them, breaks them, and then leaves them on the ground like a carcass.
Lovely.
I have one band left.
Dude. How many came in a pack?
I had like a pack of 10.
Dang.
I have one left. Because every time I go back to my counter, there's one missing.
Just take them out one by one. That's like his mission for life. You ask him what his expenditure is, it's doing
Dennis the freaking menace. He literally lives to make my life more inconvenient. Like, and then even when I go to feed him, he will knock the container out of your hand and then it goes everywhere.
Lovely.
And I'm like, was that your goal? Are you happy now? Ugh, drives me nuts. Love him.
Cause havoc.
That's his goal in life. So that's my low tide. Very stupid.
No, that's real. Mine is probably even more stupid. But I mean, we live in Florida. It's summertime, so this happens every year. I don't know. I'm surprised. But I hate the rain.
Girl, the storming, once it hits 3 p.m., is driving me nuts.
No, and I'm the type of person, like, because I know people are like, oh, I don't mind the rain if I'm, like, inside watching movies. Like, I just don't like the rain in general. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it makes me, maybe it's, like, some past trauma or something. Like, it makes me anxious. I hate the sound of rain. I hate, like, thunders. I really? Hate rain.
You're like a dog.
I'm literally like
You're
a dog.
You're like Milo.
Me and Milo, twins. Literally twinning them because I hate the rain. And
I just don't like the driving in it.
I hate the driving.
It floods so bad here. But if I'm at home, I do like it. It makes me sleepy.
And I feel like most people do. That actually leads to... We're talking about, I didn't even write that down. Unpopular opinion. I hate the rain.
But yeah, okay.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I just don't enjoy it. And it's been interrupting my pickleball time.
That's true.
Because even though I'm a crazy person, it'll be like pouring, and I look at the radar and I see like a little snippet of where there isn't like a green bubble over us. And I'll drive over here and then I'll just sit in my car for the pouring rain and then play on wet courts, and it's great. But it's still making me angry that I even have to do that, because then it's like obviously there's not as many crazy people out there, so the courts are pretty empty. But I don't know. I never thought I'd say it, but I'm missing the busyness sometimes. I want to see. I know. I've been like...
You sure about that? Don't.
I know.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know. But the thing is, I wished for, when it was so busy, I wished for there to be no one, and now I just want a good balance.
Well, you want it to be no one. You just don't want the rain.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. The rain just makes me not think straight. I hate rain. And it's been happening so often lately, and it makes me...
Rain is a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, mister. Who sings that?
Luke Bryan.
Okay, Luke. Okay, Mr. Bryan. I disagree. But
Farmers all everywhere.
I wish that we just went back to, like, Old Testament times before the flood, when, like, it says, like, just mist, like, just came from the earth and just, like, watered it. Because I understand, like, rain, water things, da-da-da-da. Why we gotta be all dramatic with the thunder, lightning?
That's just where we live.
I know. Let's calm down now. Just feel like a subtle mist that comes up from the floor and just makes everything so green and pretty. That's what I want. I don't want
mist coming from the floor?
Yes.
That's
what
nuts.
I want. That's what I want.
That's crazy.
Anyways.
Yeah, I just don't like the flooding. Like, there was literally last week, like, the streets, like, right outside of our neighborhood will be completely underwater. And we had, like, a afternoon thunderstorm.
Right.
They have been happening every single day. Like, 2 to 3 p.m. on the dot. The thunder and the rain will come, and then it's over by, like, 8 p.m. Typically. But we had, like, a normal afternoon thunderstorm, and these streets flooded so bad. Like, Vlad was sending me pictures because he was on shift. People were kayaking in the streets.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, homes were, like, cars were underwater and getting stuck. And I was coaching at the gym at the time, and he texted me, and he was like, do not leave the gym until I tell you, because you will not be able to get home.
Yeah.
And, like, people are getting stuck in their cars, and we're having to go get them.
Yeah.
So...
Like, it's torrential downpour. Just
like, thankfully, by the time I was done coaching, it was around that 8 p.m. So then, like, it had, died down by then. But, yeah, it's, like, a normal afternoon thunderstorm, and, like, people are underwater. It's crazy.
I hate it.
Florida, baby. Subtropics.
Making me mad.
But anyway, we have quite the topic.
I know.
And I love this topic because I like being controversial.
She likes to ruffle a few feathers.
I do like to ruffle feathers. I think it's good. I think it builds character. I think it thickens up that skin.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm like, what
opinions.
are like the least controversial unpopular opinions I can think of? But we'll get into that later.
I was like, I want them more controversial.
Like, I don't know, pink's better than blue. Like, not trying to get into that. Anyways, before we get into all of the actual controversial or non-controversial things, let's talk about how unpopular opinions relate to the spiritual side of life.
So true.
Because obviously unpopular opinions can relate to anything, but something they can surely relate to is Christians and what they choose and not choose to take from the Bible.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, because we were trying to figure out how to kind of connect unpopular opinions to the Mana segment. And I was just saying, well, there's plenty of unpopular opinions in scripture, and a lot of people just choose to turn a blind eye to it, or just be like, actually, I don't believe in that part of the Bible. I only believe in this part.
Exactly.
I'm only gonna choose to follow these commandments and not the others. And sister, brother, that's not how that works.
Yeah, the cherry picking, like you were saying, isn't how it should go. We should take the word as it is and live by it. Milo agrees.
Milo's having a moment.
Saying preach. But yeah, I did want to read. So when we look up, oh my gosh, how the word is confirming to listen to the word, which is funny because if you are choosing to cherry pick from the word, you can just like ignore this. But that's what we're saying not to do. But it's found in when the angel Gabriel met with Mary, and she is finding out that she has conceived baby Jesus, being a virgin, and he's talking to her, and she's like, yo, what? And then he says, this is surely going to happen, for no word from God will ever fail.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much all we need to know.
I mean, we know that scripture is God-breathed and God-influenced, and, you know, the word is God.
Yeah.
You know, this
is in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Yeah.
And so that's just something where we have to understand that there are some hard pills to swallow in Scripture, but it doesn't mean that we should turn a blind eye or, ooh, I don't like that makes me have to change my lifestyle, so I'm just going to ignore it and only, you know, believe the parts that I want to believe.
Right.
And in my opinion, unpopular opinion, something that we've kind of touched on before is how we are in this new age with spiritualism, and younger generations where they are picking and choosing from multiple religions what parts they like, and then kind of combining it all together to make their own.
Right.
And in my opinion, if you are taking parts of Christianity and you're only choosing the parts that you like, and you are creating a new religion based off of only what you like.
Right.
And you're basically becoming your own God. Because you're saying, these are actually the things that you should do, and this is how I want to live my life.
Yeah.
And that's not how this works.
Just like creating reason for what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to a sermon yesterday. I think it was Jackie Hill Perry, which love her.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking about just how many people put their feelings over God's word. So if anything makes them feel good, that's what they're going to take. That's what they're going to let define their lives. But if it challenges our fleshly, like, this is what I want to do, that's when people are just going to turn a blind eye to it. Yeah. And then she even says, but trust me, like, if you're ever in doubt, if you look to God's word despite your feelings, that's going to be the most fruitful part of your life. Because I think we don't realize that God's word, even if it goes against what we want, we have to realize that that's greater than anything we could ever think up, imagine, or define.
What God wants is always going to be better than what we want.
Like, if you think about it, any morals we really, like, have, like, it all comes back to how God created the world and the commandments he laid out. Like, 100%. He knows best. He knows what's going to bring peace, you know, light and life to your life because of what he has said, and that goes against anything that we could ever figure out for ourselves, you know, any of those feelings I was talking about, anything that we want to merge and create and cherry pick to make us happy, that's gonna give us temporary happiness when we really maybe need to go through those hard moments, those hard convictions, those hard just times where you're really thinking, is it worth it? it is. You have to kind of get through that and trust that God's word will never fail.
And I think it's important to understand like where our fleshly desires come from and where they lead us, you know, because when we want something, I think it's important for us to be like, okay, like my sin wants this, but look at where this has led, you know, and where this could lead. And I've touched on this before, where it's like, well, there's also that whole notion right now of just do whatever makes you happy. Right. And I'm like, that to me, unpopular opinion, is some of the worst advice I think you could ever follow. To do whatever makes you happy. Because doing that, we don't always know best. Yeah. I think it's extremely narcissistic to assume that we know what's best. Yeah. And for just to do whatever's happy. And then you have teenagers that are following that, and teenagers make really reckless decisions that can alter the rest of their life. Right. You know, so if you're taking someone who loves to go out and drink, and they drink too much, and then they don't love to call cabs or call an Uber, and like you're putting your own life and other people's life in danger, like and I know that's, you know, a drastic example, but just because it makes you happy doesn't mean it's healthy. Exactly. And it doesn't mean that it's something that you should do without any limitations or precautions. And but we live in that world now where we're so sensitive that telling people, hey, that might not be very healthy for you is offensive. Right. And like, no, you should just allow me to live my life however I want. Right. And it's like, no, we're so offended by the thought that we could be wrong about something. Right. And it's like, our flesh does not lead us in the right direction. And I think that when we live our life to please our flesh, you see the destruction that causes. Yeah. Like you said, it's very temporary. It's that temporary high, that temporary happiness, that temporary feeling of satisfaction, only to leave you feeling emptier after. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think that just goes into kind of, there's really no, which is ironic because we're having a whole episode about opinions, but there really is no place for us to input our opinion into God's word. Like, we can't, that's good. You know, put, oh, well, I think this, or even some people like misconstrue their interpretation, so then I think it all just comes back to like, people just want a reason they won't feel guilty of it. Yeah, yes. You know, like they don't want to think like, oh, I'm changing God's word, you know. They're like, oh, but it is the verse, this is how I apply it to my life, or this is how I interpret it. Because then how can you argue with that if they're still using God's word? But what is the actual, that's why context is so important. What did God actually mean?
The intention.
Even in the other way, where some people may not be getting joy from it, but some people let like certain things in the Bible, especially like the Old Commandment laws, like rule their life now, you know, and they're ignoring kind of the freedom that like the gospel brings, because again, they almost want to be that self-righteous. They almost want they almost want to earn their own salvation. Yeah. So again, you can input your own opinions to create different ways. You could do it to make yourself happier and so that you could do whatever you want, or you could do it so that you have to follow these rules so that you're earning your salvation. Either way, it's going against God's word. You have to figure out how to like remove yourself, you know, like take away your fleshly thoughts about it and truly just dive into the word as it is.
I feel like we just live in a time now where we do anything and everything we can to avoid being told that we're wrong and avoiding conviction. Yeah. And the thing is that is where you grow. Right. That's where you get better. Those are the teachable moments that we learn. Yeah. Those are good. Mm-hmm. If you are feeling conviction, you're feeling guilty because you're reading something in scripture and you're like, man, like, I do that. And it's wrong. Right. And like, you're starting to feel guilty. Like, that's good. Right. We feel that way so we can try to make better decisions. It doesn't mean that we should shame ourselves and, you know, seclude ourselves and like, you know, start to isolate away from other people out of shame and everything. No. It just means that, okay, you feel bad because you did something that's wrong. That's good. Now you learn how to do the right thing. That's how you grow, you know, and it's the same thing. Like, my perspective has changed with this being a coach, where I can see the people that are coachable and those who have too much pride, who don't want to be told that what they're doing is wrong because it's like an embarrassment thing. But the thing is that if you humble yourself a little bit and you allow yourself to be coachable, that is how you get so much better.
Yeah, like it's for your benefit.
It's literally for your benefit. Right. You know, and it's like parents, you try to tell your kids not to put your hand on a hot stove because it's hot and you're going to get burned. But we are just so adamant to just want to put our hands on that stove. And sometimes you have to learn the hard way, and you're going to have to get burned and realize, oh, that stove is hot, and my parents are telling me not to do things because it's for your own safety and for your own good. Right. And it's the same thing, like, with the parameters that we have in scripture is not to bound you. It's actually to set you free. Like, the things of this world that they claim give freedom give more entrapment than anything else.
That's true.
They make you feel like a slave to whatever it is that the world is trying to sell.
True.
And it's not true freedom. It's not good. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think. I don't have the exact verse pulled up, but I think it's in Romans where Paul's really talking about, it might be Romans 6, but he's saying, like, I was enslaved to my flesh. Now I'm enslaved to the law. Like, that's a good thing. Like, I'd rather be enslaved to what God says rather than my faulty whatever.
Because I can trust that God has got me.
Exactly.
And he knows better.
Which is so comforting.
It is.
I love it.
I love, love, love.
Love, love, love. But do you guys, all of our listeners, let's all take a vote right now. Should we get into our actual unpopular opinions?
I just heard from all the people right now. They all said yes.
Oh my gosh, yay! I love our new technology. We get those poll results so fast.
I'm telling you.
So lovely.
I just also really quickly want to just give a little shout out to any of our listeners that have been listening from the beginning. I mean, can we just just have a moment of appreciation?
Yes, we should, More ASMR for you. You're welcome. I agree. Yeah. It's crazy to think about.
They just listen to us yap, man. You support our yapping.
26 hours.
26 hours of yaps. Yaps and laughs and tippity taps. I don't know.
Ooh, I like that. Yaps and laughs and tippity taps.
So anyway, thank you guys. But yes, let us get started with our unpopular opinions. And let us preface, these are our opinions. Yes. It is okay to disagree. We need to be reminded of that. Yeah. It's okay, guys. You can disagree with me, and I can disagree with you, and we can still be the best of friends.
Yeah.
If I consider you a friend.
Oh. Do you follow under my definition of friend?
Oh, yeah.
Watch us all have... We all wrote the exact same things. They're just all the opposite of each other. Can you imagine?
Then it could be an episode about conflict
resolution. Will this be the last podcast episode? Hannah and Mia's friendship on a downfall. Last podcast episode? Question mark.
The clickbait is like us like fake fighting. Yeah. You're like crying and I'm like yelling.
Clickbait cracks me up.
Clickbait is so funny.
Okay, can I start? Because this was the one thing that actually
please start.
Made us want to do this episode because you said I was a psycho. Okay. Remember this?
No.
This was the last time we were recording. Okay?
Wait a minute.
You had one of these ice things. Or no, I bought an ice thing. And you're like, oh, do you want me to pour it over ice or something?
This is right. Okay,
yeah, my famous sparkling ice Starburst strawberry. Okay? You're like, oh, I just bought it for, obviously, how my podcast drink. She's like, oh, do you want me to pour it over ice? I was like, no, I prefer it warm. And then you're like, that's crazy.
And I was like, what is wrong with you?
So my unpopular opinion is this. I prefer my drinks warm. Not necessarily like warm where they're like
Mia,
warm.
no, I felt your water bottles come out of your car.
Okay, those are bad, but I do drink them.
From them. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Okay, my water sometimes I have a water bottle in my car that I'm probably gonna drink. That is gonna be really bad. That's gonna be like hot. Sometimes
but,
it
realize
makes
that,
my lips warm
after. That plastic is like getting into your water.
What? Oh yeah, I did hear that. And then people are like, "Oh, use reusable water and stuff."
That's why you should use reusable water bottles because it's plastic and it's melting into your water.
Yummy.
Mia's like, I love it.
No, I really don't do it that often. It's just if I need water and it happens to be warm, like I just don't mind it, I guess. I think I did some self-reflecting actually. I think, I don't know if this is it, but because obviously I grew up idolizing everything my sister did, and she always said like she wants her waters warm. And so I wanted to be cool. So really we have to talk to her. Why is she doing that? Because I was like, I want to be cool. I'll drink my waters warm. And so I would just always grab warm waters instead. And then I just kind of got used to it. So now if I drink a cold water, I'm like, oh, that's too much. They're doing too much. The cold water.
See, I just feel like
I don't want to drink cold water. Like I feel it. I feel the chill, and I hate that.
It's beautiful.
No, I hate it.
But for me, it's
I
not
don't hate
that. But cold water and warm water have different flavors.
One's round and one's pointy.
I don't like that.
Have you heard that? Cold water's pointy, round.
No, but it's like cold water is like cool and it's refreshing. Warm water makes me taste like I'm drinking a swamp.
Warm water is just like, I just feel like I'm like, oh, it's so like
warm water.
Fire and ice, baby. No, but I don't know. It's just like a little hug. Like it's not surprising me. I know it's It's just like water, you know. I don't know. I just love the comfort of warm.
What do you expect with cold water?
Pointiness. That chill down my. It's just very like very aggressive. It's very in your face. Especially if you have like gum or something. I'm like, oh my gosh. Do you like
your ginger ale warm?
Okay.
So you like soda warm?
I drink my soda warm.
No.
It's not necessarily that I prefer.
Soda's meant to be cold and crispy with like the carbonation.
Sometimes also, didn't write this down, unpopular opinion, I'm not a big fan of carbonation in general.
Oh, see, I'm a carbonation
I hate
girl.
when you get like carbonated like down your nose. You know what I'm talking about?
That very rarely happens.
It happens to me all the time.
Okay,
I don't know if I'm drinking it wrong or what.
I don't know what you're
doing.
But
yeah, so especially that mix, it's just, again, it's too aggressive. Why is carbonation? I used to call it spicy growing up. I was like, that's too spicy. If it has like carbonation.
See, I don't like sparkling water by itself. No.
Gosh,
I don't like that. That tastes like TV static.
Yeah,
but that's why I love like soda or sparkling drinks that have flavor, because I love carbonation.
I don't know. I think I don't mind cold soda every now and again. Like, I think it's for a time and occasion. It makes me feel fancy. I usually do it like if I'm having dinner. But if I'm like out like just grabbing something, I just grab like a bottle and I'm just drinking it warm.
Yeah, I hate that so much. It hurts.
Okay, my next one's gonna be even worse then. So you go. I think you're gonna hate my next one.
Mine are so serious.
I know. This is perfect though. You're just gonna take it like we're talking about real issues,
and then you're gonna lighten it.
Bro, all mine are so like stupid. Because I was like, I'm not a controversial person.
See, I am.
Like, well, I just never want anyone to disagree with me or ever. So I'm just talking about silly things.
See, I don't like confrontation per se, but I enjoy a good debate. Love me a good debate.
I respect that.
Like, I want,
because it's not like actually like out of like aggression.
Right. Yeah. Like, I just love like having like a good spirited debate on something.
I get that.
I find it fun. And
do you ever want to be on the debate team? Like for school or anything?
To be honest, when I was in high school, that wasn't a thing. And then when I was in college, it was, but I had like no interest.
That's real.
And actually doing it, I don't really like being a part
I feel like you'd be so good at it. Like, you're so like well spoken. Like, I feel like you would just like kill them.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you say words, I'm like, oh, this girl's vocabulary. I'm gonna start writing it down.
Words.
Your words. Love Hannah words.
So my first unpopular opinion is that having trauma or...
Sorry, hearing the word trauma after I'm talking about my warm soda is crazy. Okay, continue.
Having trauma or of having had a bad childhood is not an excuse to treat people like crap in your day-to-day life. I cannot stand when people are just straight up rude and mean, and then like when you talk to them about it, they're like, oh, well, like...
Sorry.
Like, I didn't have my dad growing up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you have trauma, join the club. Get in line.
Yeah.
Being nice costs nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an excuse to be disrespectful and nasty.
Right.
Like, for me, it doesn't mean that your childhood or your trauma doesn't affect you as a person. It 100% does. Mm-hmm. But when you become an adult, you become responsible for how you treat other people. Mm-hmm. So you can either decide if you want to continue the trauma that was that was encompassed on you, imposed on you without your permission. This trauma happened to you as a kid or as a teenager. You didn't ask for it. That's really that sucks.
Yeah.
As an adult, though, are you going to continue that trauma and putting it on other people, or a different trauma depending on how you're treating people, or are you going to decide to break it? Also, it is your responsibility, in my opinion, if you have had this trauma that's been inflicted on you, then you need to go to therapy. Like, it's not ideal. It sucks when that happens. Like, and most people these days can say that there had been something that has not been ideal that has happened to them as children or at some point, or we go through grief, we go through the traumatic events, whatever it may be. But, like, you don't just get to go through life just like treating people terribly and then just using that as an excuse. Like, the therapy exists. Mm-hmm. It's so much more available now. Or like you have to be the one to be willing to take responsibility. Yeah. It's just not an excuse.
But I think it's so amazing. Like, I have so much respect. Like, I've known people that they'll be like one of the kindest, like bubbliest people, and then like you hear what they've been through and you're just like, oh my gosh, like it's like I want to be like. It's so inspiring, like, when you actually do overcome what life has given you.
You either let it break you or you let it make you.
Amen.
I'm just, I...
Let it make you.
And that's, speaking from someone that's gone through some things.
Right.
And it's not fun. And, a lot of the times it's not asked for. You didn't, quote unquote, deserve it. Mm-hmm. But that's how the cookie crumbled.
Yeah.
And that's
what
how
are you going to do with that? What are you going to go from there?
Yeah. And, like, you're not the only one. So learn to be a kind human. Learn to be respectful to other people. Treat other people how you want to be treated. Golden rule.
So true.
Yeah, that just is a pet peeve of mine when people just walk around just like...
Oh, it's because...
excusing...
issues,
yeah, whatever issues that they have. And I'm like, okay, that sucks, but, like, that's not an excuse.
Right.
Like, you're going to be a bully and, like, that's what you're going to excuse it as? I don't like it.
Right.
I don't like it at all. That's my unpopular opinion. I don't know if that's unpopular, or maybe if it's just not as spoken as much, but whichever.
All right. I'm going to make you mad again.
Yeah.
With my stupid, unpopular opinion. This has always been... I think I have something with temperatures. I don't know what it is. Okay? This has been something that I have dreamt about since I was a child. I love building it up. I like looking at your face. No, but I don't like when a restaurant brings out really hot food. I don't like hot food. I don't like food that, like, I have to sit and cool down. Oh. Like, I'd rather my food be, like, room temperature. I'm telling you, it's just like a temperature thing.
Mia, what is wrong with you? What happened to you?
I don't know. Yeah, so anyways, my dream that I've had as a child is I always wanted to open a restaurant where you can choose the temperature of your food. Because sometimes I prefer food cold.
Okay, but babe, that's like against some health codes.
Yeah, but like blah, blah, blah,
like,
blah.
I want my chicken not cooked.
It's not like cooked, but like if I prefer my pizza cold. So if I'm going on a pizza place, can I take the one out of the fridge? That'd be great. Yeah. So anyways, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I think I'm pretty much the only target audience for this restaurant that I wanted to do. I had a really clever name for it too, but I forgot it. Yeah, so it's like a pet peeve of mine when a restaurant serves me hot food and like it's just sitting in front of me and I just have to stare at it. Because
you hate fajitas.
Dude, yeah, no. Huh? Like, I want to be able to eat it immediately. I'm not, like, I just hate, like, blowing on my food. Like, that enrages me. I don't have patience for it. Like, I'm like, bro.
Crazy.
I'm like, come on, like, just cool down already. Or if it's like, yeah, I just prefer my food to not be, like,
what's
super
so
hot.
We're opposites when it comes to temperature. Because, like, like, if something is meant to be cold, I want it ice cold, bone chilling. Yeah. And if something is meant to be hot, I want it bubbling.
No, I just want everything, like,
boiling.
Even keel. Just like warm.
No.
Just lukewarm.
That's gross. You like lukewarm hot chocolate?
I don't drink hot chocolate really. But when it comes to like just like any like hot drinks, yeah, I just like them warm.
I don't like that.
Like, I feel like my body's sensitive. I don't know. Like, I just,
I don't think you should be trying to find an excuse.
I don't. I'm using this excuse. Hannah, I had trauma, all right? And that's what makes me like this. I'm just kidding.
That's not an excuse. Drink your water cold.
Yeah, so that was my other little one.
Okay. This one, I don't know if people would get feathers ruffled by this. Me and my best friend Maddie talk about this one a lot. I hate, and I just want to preface again that these are opinions. You're totally allowed to disagree, and it's fine. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that I think less of you as a person. Yeah, and I, like, there's no judgment if you do like these things, as long as you don't judge me for not liking them.
Real.
We give the respect that we give.
Okay.
We get the respect that we give.
Yes.
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 I hate first looks at weddings.
Ooh.
I think they're dumb.
Ooh.
I think unpopular opinion, I think that ruins it.
Ooh. Okay.
My whole thing is like, of course there's always exceptions to every rule. But for the most part, like, there's just something so special in the ceremony, like right as you're about to get married, like for the husband to see his bride like walking down the aisle for the first time and like getting to see you in that moment. I just think is so special. And I understand and I hear the argument of like, you guys want to have that moment privately and to yourself. And I get that, but my whole thing is like, you're not married yet though. So like, you want to be in this bubble of like marriage and love, and oh my gosh, you're like just so in love with each other, and oh my gosh, she looks so beautiful in your dress, and then you gotta leave again, and then you gotta do the ceremony, and then you've already seen her.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it kind of makes the ceremony a little less special.
Yeah.
Which again, I understand people's reasoning for doing it, and I've seen some really cute first look videos and pictures and stuff like that, and you know, that's all fine and dandy and everything. But the moment that I got where Vlad saw me for the first time walking down the aisle, like, I would never trade that for anything, and it just made it so unbelievably special.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
Yeah, something about it, I just feel like you doing it before the ceremony and then you have to leave again. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's real.
And I know for some people, like, again, there's exceptions to every rule. Like, for some people, you know, they, with the timeline of when their wedding is, they have to do their photos before the ceremony. So then, like, you're kind of forced to do a first look.
Right.
Or again, that's just some people's preference. And again, I've seen it done beautifully. And I think that's awesome. Good for you. I just, for me,
but
not personally a fan.
How do you feel about like the first touch when like they don't see each other, but
me
like
and Vlad
did
hold
that.
Hands or
I
something?
thought that was,
yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So because me and Vlad had a private sharing of our vows, that was only in front of, our wedding party, and then like the videographer and photographer were there, and it was the sharing of our vows to each other, but we didn't feel comfortable like reading them out in front of like, you know, the couple hundred people that were there for our wedding. So we stood behind like a door and like we held hands, but I couldn't see him.
Right.
And we read our vows to each other before we saw each other, but I couldn't see him. And that kind of like built up the anticipation, and I was like, oh my gosh, like he's here, like this is it. And then like I got to see him, and he got to see me, and it was like when I was walking down the aisle, and it was really special.
I love that so much.
Again, no hate to anybody that's done first looks. Love that for you. Just
not
unpopular opinion, not for me.
Not for me. All right, my next one, another stupid one. But also, I don't know why this just came to my mind. I really don't have that strong of an opinion about this. But it is... Sorry, shouldn't those be blinking?
No.
Oh, LOL. Tech issues. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, it is, you know, like pets. I don't know why, again, I have an opinion about this because I literally own 0 animals and have 0 pets. But I like when they have, like, silly names. Like, names, not like common, like, dog.
Like human names?
Yeah. Or, like object names. Like, I, like, want to have a cat and name, like, Stapler. Like, I think that'd be so fun. Like, I think funny. People aren't creative enough with their pet names because you have so much freedom, because, like, obviously human, you have to give human names because they have a whole life to live. But, like, dogs and cats, they're just silly little guys. They're just living around in your house. Name them something funny. Name them something clever. Name them, I don't know, ChatGPT. whatever you want to do. Like, that'd be so fun. And I think, and especially, like, human names, like, I think that's so funny. Like, oh, yeah, I gotta go take James on a walk. Who the heck is James?
One of my friends from high school had her dog's name was Tina.
I love that, bro. That's so funny. So, anyways,
I hate my pets' names.
No, I don't hate your pets' names. I think that in general.
To be fair, we didn't choose Milo's name. That was what it was given with.
Exactly. I
did choose Hercules though. We almost named him Joey, but
Joey. I actually know someone that's a dog named Joey. But yeah, I just think it's funny, and that's all.
I know a really fat bulldog at one of the local like pet bakeries, and he's a chunky little bulldog, and his name is Lieutenant Dan, and it's my favorite thing.
Lieutenant Dan. That's what I'm saying. That's hilarious.
Okay, so my next one. Oh, this one's like silly, stupid. I'm not really gonna elaborate. Just my unpopular opinion is that root beer sucks. Do you love root beer?
I freaking love root beer. Root beer is like the only soda I really drink. That and ginger ale.
Ginger ale is my favorite.
I love root beer.
Man, root beer sucks.
I love root beer. It's so yummy.
It's so
delicious. I love it. I don't like root beer barrels, like the flavor root beer and like candies and stuff, but I like root beer.
Do you like the root beer Dum Dum?
No, I don't think so. I don't like root beer flavored things, but I love like root beer. Like I just got it. You know,
as a kid, like my mom and my brother, I remember them like they loved root beer and they loved cream soda. Never liked either one of them. I like orange cream soda, but I don't just like cream soda by itself. I think it's gross. But they loved it, and so I felt like I needed to like it. And then, like, of course, you have, like, your classic root beer float. And I would always get so excited for, like, the root beer floats, but then they'd make them with root beer, and I would force myself to eat it because I like the ice cream, and I like the texture that ice cream gets in a root beer float.
Yeah.
It gets kind of, like, icy.
Yeah.
I just hit my finger. But I loved it, but then, like, I would be, like, gagging at the root beer. And then I discovered that, hey.
Gagging is crazy.
You're not limited to root beer.
For the only soda,
for a float. And then that's when I discovered
so
Coke floats. And those became my favorite things. Because I loved Coca-Cola. But root beer is literally disgusting.
I love root beer.
That's nasty.
I remember, because as a kid, it was my favorite drink too. Honestly, I went a while not drinking it, and then I started picking it up again recently. Because I enjoy it very much. But I loved when it came in a bottle. And so I was like an 8-year-old, my beer bottle. Yeah. And I was like,
did you ever
10
feel
and that
cool?
crunk. Yeah. I was like, gotta get my root beer. Hold my bottle, my beer bottle. It was my favorite thing in the world, and I still enjoy the taste. So I disagree, Hannah. Controversial. Podcast is ending here. Last episode. Okay.
ATC is splitting up
because
over root beer.
Hannah doesn't like root beer.
And warm soda. You drink your root beer warm. That's the nastiest thing I can think of is warm root beer.
Yeah, I do. Okay. I'm going to ask what you do before I say my opinion. Okay? So, I feel like, honestly, I didn't know there was that many variations. But, like, when you do toothpaste, like, what's your, like, routine? Like, putting the toothpaste on?
Yeah. Okay, so I wet the toothbrush. And then I put the toothpaste on, and then I wet it again.
Same!
Yes. Okay, and that's the only correct way to do
ATC is
it.
back, guys. We've reunited!
Plot twist! We're back together?
Question mark, what? We're back together, guys. Okay, real. Because some people, like, I don't understand, like, just, like, not even putting any water. They just, like, put
and it's,
toothpaste.
like, dry. No.
I hate that.
No. First of all, there's no way. You have to get it wet to, like, activate it.
Some people don't. Like,
they don't even wet it after?
No. Like, they'll literally just, like, boom, right there.
That's
put toothpaste on.
Illegal.
That
should be
I knew someone that
illegal.
did that, and I was like,
I understand some people not wetting their toothbrush first. For whatever reason in my head, I'm like getting the toothbrush ready.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like ridding it of air. It's just like the bathroom air.
Let me rinse it.
Yeah.
But I understand not doing that, but you have to at least put water on it after you put toothpaste on it. That's crazy.
Agreed.
All right, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yay.
Okay. College football sucks.
Oh.
That's probably a really unpopular opinion, especially in Florida with the whole rivalry between FSU and UF. I just don't care. Yeah. I don't get it. I'm watching a bunch of, like, 19-year-olds. I'm like, I don't know. I just, like, I only care about NFL, baby.
Yeah.
I only care. When you make it pro, let me know.
Oh.
I'll watch you if you go pro. I'm not watching these freaking college boys. I don't know. Like, I get it. It's cool to see, like, where they started. And, like, you get to see people who are, like, really good. And then you get to see them get drafted into the NFL and, like, watch their whole season. And I get that. And maybe it's just because I was never that kind of college person. I did not care about going to a big state school. I went to a small private school. I did not have some, like, strong affiliation with any big team. UF, FSU, I'm like, I don't know, you both suck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, chomp chomp or I don't care. Like, I'll just be like, whoever's around me, if they're Gator fans, I'll be like, oh yeah, for sure, go Gators. Yeah. And then if they're Knoll fans, I'm like, oh no, for sure, go Knowles. Gators suck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care though.
I feel that way. I feel like any sport, I just am not passionate about if I don't have a team. Like, that's something, I don't know why. Like,
and that's the thing is, like, my parents grew up in Virginia. They went to small state schools, like, you know, that you don't, it's not like they're a part of, like, the D1 college football group. So we never had, like, some kind of family affiliation. And now my brother, I think, will be starting at FSU soon. So, like, now we're kind of starting to become, but I'm just like, I'm too old now.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'll tell people, I guess if I had to choose, I would choose FSU because of my brother. And my cousin also went to FSU. So I'm like, I guess go Knowles. But, like, I don't care. I've never watched a single college football game in my life.
Because, again, I think if you're in college and that's what you're doing, like, with friends and you're going to football games, like, passionate about that. That's great. School spirit. But I think I am also confused by people that, like, are didn't even go to the school and are way past college age and are
they're like
passionate,
rah, rah, rah.
determined.
And I'm like, don't care.
If I ever did want to cheer for a school, I love the Miami song where it's like all about the you. I think that's fun.
I think if I didn't have my brother going to FSU, I feel like I would go with Bama because I'm like, Roll Tide!
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I get excited about Bama fans because I've never met more passionate fans about their team than Bama.
Yeah.
Bama, Roll Tide, Roll Tide, Roll.
Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide, roll.
That's
I've never met more spirited people.
I feel like you gotta
right.
take an oath or something just to be a part of it. Like that you have to be that passionate.
Oh yeah.
I love that for them though.
That's my unpopular opinion. I don't like college football.
Ooh. Controversial. Okay, I think all the rest of mine are food related. So lucky for you guys. I don't know what my problem is. That's just I have strong opinions about food. First things first. I think dark chocolate is way better than milk chocolate.
I agree.
Yay!
I'm a dark chocolate girl.
Through and through. Yes. I used to actually say I didn't like chocolate because I only knew milk chocolate and like Hershey bars and like.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I used to literally tell people I was like, I don't like chocolate. Like I don't like the bars, you know.
That's so real.
And then I discovered dark chocolate and I was like, oh wait, I do actually like chocolate. It was just way too like sweet and.
Yeah, something about it. I'm sorry. The only time that I will eat a Hershey's chocolate is if it's on a s'more.
Agreed.
If it's on a s'more, I can manage. I can tolerate
also,
it.
I've never even had a dark chocolate s'more. I feel like it'd be better.
Oh my gosh, it would be so much better.
I feel like it'd be better.
But like, okay, my unpopular kind of opinion is kind of similar. Like, I'm not a big chocolate fan to begin with.
That's fair.
I like chocolate. Like, but when I say chocolate, I mean like actual chocolate. Like, I like chocolate in other desserts, like chocolate ice cream.
But you said you're like a sour candy person.
If I'm a sour, fruity kind of person.
Right.
The chocolate kind of stuff is very like it's too heavy for me.
See, I love like dark chocolate bars though. Like I'll buy like dark chocolate bars and just munch.
See, I can't just eat on chocolate like that. Yeah. I do like dark chocolate. I like the truffles, like the Lindor truffles. Like those are good. There's the they have a store at the outlet malls in Ellington, and Vlad and I will go there, and because they have like all the cool flavors there, and like we'll like put a little bag together.
To try all of them,
So like, you know, in the rare times if I am having a chocolate craving, like I would prefer one of the truffles. I just don't like chocolate bars like that, and I always thought Hershey bars were like low-key gross.
Same.
And I was like, how did you all get this famous? Because this is
they're
nasty.
Big, yeah.
Nasty.
Real. But it worked out like because going trick-or-treating growing up, like I just anything like chocolate related, I just assumed I didn't like it, so I was giving it out. I was like, who wants my chocolate?
Dark chocolate chip cookies.
Literally bury me. That's so bury me with those. Those are so good.
Okay, this one's controversial. That's not controversial.
Ooh.
I don't think.
I'm buckling up.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like this is pretty common like sense. But I think too many people, I don't want to call out young people, although I do think that this happens with more young people, but I definitely see older generations do this too. The people that it just looks, I guess, different. But too many people cannot think for themselves, and they rely on media and influencers and celebrities to think for them. Yeah. Which we talked about this with like propaganda and the use of celebrities to push certain things. And I just see young people and they're like, they hear one thing on the news. They hear one person, like a celebrity push something, whatever it may be, and then they just immediately like they believe it 100%. And we've lost critical thinking. We've lost the ability to see things and do our own research and see things from multiple perspectives and to develop your own opinion. Yeah. We allow peer pressure and culture and what this day's influencers are pushing to just form your opinions, and they know it. Yeah. That's why they're so pushed heavily to do it. Yeah. So, and another unpopular opinion, I don't think if you are in the realm of politics, I just think you need to keep your opinion to yourself. That's unpopular. Like, when I'm, in terms of like influencers and celebrities, I'm like, you are an influencer who is like a beauty influencer. Yeah. You do makeup. Yeah. I'm not looking for your political opinion. Right. I don't care what your political opinion is. I respect that you have one. But, like, why are you sharing it and, like, expecting people to follow what you say? Yeah. You are not, no. You are a beauty influencer, stick to beauty. Or, like, when actresses or singers, they do the same thing and they get super political. And I'm like, You're a musician, you're an artist. Stay in your lane.
Right.
And I feel like everyone tries to get involved in politics and they try to become a politician. Sorry, not that politicians are all that great nowadays, but my point is that you are not a political science major or have these kind of credentials to be giving out your opinion and telling people that they should also share your opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I get that.
I feel like, not that it's wrong to share what your opinion is, but in the divisive culture that we live in, we know that if an influencer is sharing that opinion, anybody that doesn't agree with them is going to feel very much polarized. And people gang up on people that don't believe the same things that you do or have different opinions. Hence why I said at the beginning of this episode, like, we can disagree. That's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. People don't know how to do that anymore.
That's true.
They're like, oh, if you disagree with me, that means, like, you don't like me. Yeah. We can't be friends. And that's just, like, that's so sad that we don't know how to manage as something as trivial as having different opinions.
I agree.
And like, that's why, like, for me, if there's an influencer that I like and they have a different political opinion, I don't care.
Yeah.
We all have grown up with different lenses and different perspectives on issues and how we think those issues should be dealt. And I respect you as a human being to have your own opinion. Yeah. I just don't like it when people that are in nowhere near that realm, are not educated really on these topics, are giving out their opinions and, like, shaming on people that don't also share those opinions. Right. I don't agree with that. And then, like, we have young people that hear a beauty influencer give their political opinion and then they just believe and follow with whatever they say.
Because that's who they follow and enjoy
and look
watching.
Up to. Yeah. And we're not able to do research and think on our own, and that kind of stuff just, like, drives me nuts. And there's been a couple influencers that I follow that I really respect because they have posted and they're like, guys, stop asking me to comment on these political situations. I am not knowledgeable enough to be stating my opinion and talk about it. I respect that because I'm like, you're not trying to cause division or put out your opinion when, like, maybe they don't even really know much about that topic because that's not what their realm of life is in. Right. And I respect that. Like, that's not your lane. They're staying in their lane and they're not trying to cause more divisiveness and tension within who their followers are. Yeah. So that's my unpopular opinion. Take it or leave it.
No, that's good. I agree. My last one really actually isn't that crazy, but it came up a lot recently. So if I have any friends listening to this, I feel like they're gonna hate me. But because I didn't realize how, like, popular Chipotle was.
I just had Chipotle today.
I love Chipotle, but I think I'm not saying, like, I don't like Chipotle, but I don't understand the obsession with Chipotle.
That's fair.
Like, I thought everyone was on my same page. Like, yeah, Chipotle every now and again. But, like, my friends, like, they'll literally, like, get a bowl every day. Get a burrito every day. Like, they're, like, obsessed. They're always craving Chipotle. Like, if we're out together, like, oh, let's go get Chipotle. I'm like, bro, Chipotle again? Like, I think they have good root beer, but I don't the one thing. Understand, I guess, the, like, obsession, the hype. And I feel that way with a lot of, like, I guess, common fast food things. I don't know if, again, if it's just, like, I have a weird palate or something. Yeah. But, like, even McDonald's and stuff, that's one of the most common things in the world. Like, it's just, like,
Bro, you know what was overhyped to me? The Wendy's Frosties. I do not like them. Really? That's an unpopular opinion. I don't like the Wendy's Frosties. Really? And when I was a kid, my family obsessed with the Wendy's Frosties. And they were like, oh, we're getting Wendy's Frosties. And I'm like, this is like soft serve ice cream.
It is. That's what I was thinking. It is just soft serve ice cream. Yeah.
I'm not impressed. I'm like, what? Why is this special? Yeah. And I also just don't really like Wendy's in general.
Okay, I'm probably funny. I love Wendy's. Wendy's is, like, probably the fast food place I go the most.
Really?
I know.
I have never once craved Wendy's in my life. I'm not a fan.
I love Wendy's, bro.
That's so funny.
I know.
No, but I do really like Chipotle. I will say that I had a moment in college where I did go through a Chipotle phase and I was craving it, like, every day.
Like, I feel like I'm missing that.
I was door dashing Chipotle, like, those burritos and that chips and queso, so good. And then I ended up ordering it today because it's really good. But I definitely, it's not something like I hype up Fresh Kitchen. I could eat at Fresh Kitchen every single day.
Same.
Love Fresh Kitchen.
That I can crave and
Chipotle, like, now I have a more healthy relationship where, like, I'll crave it and get it every now and again. Mm-hmm. But I did have a moment with Chipotle in college, but yeah. Like I said, I go through fixations. So.
That's real. But yeah, that was just a random one that I was sitting here thinking of because it's been happening a lot in my life where I feel like I'm missing out on something. So, like, oh, Chipotle, let's go. The most amazing thing on the world. in the world. I'm like,
I mean, if someone is around, they're like, let's go to Chipotle. I'm not
gonna say no, but I'm also like not gonna be like, yes, I've been waiting my whole life for you to say that.
That makes sense.
Let's go to Wendy's.
And I've definitely
get a $5 biggie bag. My whole order is $6.42, and it's delicious.
That's crazy.
That's how often I go. I know the exact.
And I definitely have had like better days at Chipotle than others. Like there's some days where I get it and I'm like,
I'm just a very like, I like consistency. I think that's a big thing in my life too. Like when it comes to places, like that's why I struggle sometimes. I saw like a post online where it's like kids like Cheez-Its and stuff because everything's the same, but like fruit, I don't know what I'm gonna get. Some grapes will be like sour, like ugh, and then some are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like I like consistent, so that's why I like. Okay, well that's weird, but you like sour stuff, so I guess that's normal for you. But
that's normal.
That's normal for you, but I don't know what it is. Like I think sometimes I like am drawn to like just like the preservative like snack like crap food whatever because I'm like I know what to expect. It's yummy. It's I just whatever, but like veggies and stuff sometimes they'll taste good and sometimes I'm like ugh, that one has a weird taste. That one has a weird funky taste to it.
I mean, that's
and
nature,
I feel like Chipotle, I just can't get with nature. Rain thing. I'm trying to live like those Wall-E people.
Okay, here's my last unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
And it's unpopular. And I've actually, like, I have brought, I think, one of my friends around to it because we would argue about it. But when I just say it for face value, don't just take it at face value.
Okay.
Once I fully explain and elaborate, I feel like you'll agree with me. Unless you won't. And guess what? That's okay.
Okay.
I do not think that you can be friends with the opposite sex.
Ooh.
I do not think that boys and girls can be friends. Now we have to remember who is this coming from. Remember my definition of friend. Mm-hmm. So that's important to keep in mind. Mm-hmm. I am not talking about acquaintances. You can have acquaintances of the opposite sex. Friendly acquaintances of the opposite gender. However, I do not think that you can be good friends. And again, let me by saying a friend being someone that you talk to on a daily basis and make plans to hang out with, just you two.
Yeah.
In no way, in HE double hockey sticks, are you guys at one point, one person is going to catch feelings.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that person will never open up about their feelings. And the other person is just thinking, wow, I have such a great friend. And they're completely in the dark about it. And the other person is suffering in silence, hoping and praying that one day they're going to change their mind. Or they do end up expressing those feelings. And then it's either going to go really well where, oh my gosh, I'm falling in love with my best friend. Or, ooh, now the friendship's ruined because that other person doesn't feel the same way. Now the friendship is awkward.
Yeah.
It can't go any other way. That's just not how men and women were designed. You cannot be hanging out with a guy. Like I'm talking to my ladies. If you are hanging out with a guy on a daily or weekly basis and you're talking, you're Snapchatting, you're like whatever, he likes you. Mm-hmm. I don't know a man that wastes his time to talk to and hang out with a girl of the opposite sex that he does not like.
Right.
Or does not expect that it's going to go somewhere.
Right.
Come on. If he doesn't like you, he's going to go give his energy to some... And again, I'm not talking about like your work friends, right? We're talking about people that you intentionally set time to talk and hang out outside of those forced environments. So I'm not talking about like, oh, your work friend that you see at work and you guys can have nice conversation. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people that you see at church and you're friendly with. I'm not talking about the people like, oh... you know, our group goes out to play pickleball and they're there and like we'll hang out and say hi. Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you guys are having
intentional one-on-one
time, hanging out, texting and Snapchatting. There is no way that one of them does not have feelings or it's not going to happen.
Ooh.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Unless one of them is homosexual.
True.
That's obviously that's different.
Yeah, and I think anyone that thinks otherwise definitely is just denying it. You
yes,
know, like if
you're just in denial.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is why, unpopular opinion, if you are in a committed relationship, you have no business having close friends of the opposite sex. Do you, like, can you think about, like, for you, how weird would it be, like, if I was, like, going out and, like, hanging out with another guy?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And again, like, maybe once in a blue moon there are exceptions. Maybe. But, doubt.
Real.
Doubt. Doubt.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like, if your boyfriend, I'm sorry, he should not be hanging out one-on-one with another girl.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah.
But I'm a very loyal person, and I have high standards for loyalty. But I'm sorry, like, and think about, why does that girl want to hang out with your man just alone?
Yeah, like,
I don't
there's
trust
ill
her.
intention there.
Or
And then even if
him.
you, like, the guy isn't thinking anything, I think it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
What's the point?
Yeah, like, what are you actually gaining from that? It's probably doing more harm to the relationship than it is, like, oh, you got to, like, hang out with a friend. Let's be so
and if
real.
he's valuing that friendship over your relationship, oh, honey, there's feelings.
Be so for real. Yeah.
There's feelings, and you're not the priority. And that's on period. That's on period. That's on C. I'm sorry. I just think that more people need to have higher standards for what they expect in their relationship. Ooh. And I think if you think that this doesn't apply to you, I think you're in denial. Ooh. You're either in denial of your own feelings, or you're in denial that they might have feelings. And trust me, because me and Vlad were friends. And we were hanging out and Snapchatting and talking all the time. And I was like, no, he doesn't like me. No, like, that's crazy. No. And Vlad was holding out.
Vlad was like, please.
He was deep in the friend zone, and he was holding out for something to change, and then he married me. So, joke's on me.
Oof. Got him.
Can't happen, guys. I promise you it can't.
I love that, though.
So, that's my popular opinion. You can disagree if you want.
Good.
And that's what, like, I think it was Maddie, like, me and Maddie have had, like, these conversations before, and, like, she would be like, no, you can. And I'm like, see, but your definition of friend to me is an acquaintance.
Different, yeah.
I'm talking about intentional one-on-one time, or you are communicating with them on, like, a daily basis through texting or Snapchatting or something like that, and hanging out with just them. Right. No, you cannot just be friends.
Real.
You might try, and you're going to end up developing feelings, or they're going to end up developing feelings. And if you guys don't have feelings yet, oh, don't worry, it'll happen.
Oh, don't worry.
Or you'll stop being friends.
Yeah.
If a guy is, like, hanging out, and then he, like, loses hope, and he thinks that, like, nothing's going to happen, like, watch him start to, like, distance himself. And he's going to go pour his energy elsewhere.
Wow. Got him. And I think a lot of this just came to mind, but I think a lot of people, like, of different sex too, like, the relationship, like, they'll, because obviously I think if one person, like, say, like, a girl notices a guy will start to like, and they'll probably stay just because, like, the attention in that friendship is something they'll just be like, oh, just a friend, whatever. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
And you like the attention, but you would never actually want to date them. Exactly. And so then you hope that they never actually, like, ask you out or say anything because you enjoy the friendship that you get, but you're not willing to give them any more.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but just understand, it's kind of unfair to them.
Yeah.
To, like, drag them along, especially if you know that they have feelings.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, again, like, you like this friendship, and I do think that happens more oftentimes where, like, the girl is genuinely able to be friends and not feel anything. Yeah. But it's not the same way for the guy, and it's just, like, it's just harmful to them.
It's true.
And it hurts. And then eventually they're going to give their attention to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you're either going to realize that you did have feelings for them, or maybe you just like the attention, and then that friendship is dead. Kaput.
Dang. That was a good one, and one. Maybe we could do a whole episode of relationship standards.
People probably don't want my opinion on that.
Who cares about their opinion?
This is my podcast.
You don't have to agree.
The only people that need to agree are me and Hannah. Yeah. And the Lord.
It's all we need.
Even though we disagreed on things.
And we're still here.
Mia, I love you just as much as I did at the start of this podcast.
Perfect.
I'm confused by you. I think you're an enigma. But, honestly,
I love that mystery makes me thrive.
It makes you unique.
I love hearing that, honestly.
You little 4.
Good.
All right, guys. Let us know what your unpopular opinions are. Did you agree? Did you disagree? What are some unpopular opinions that we didn't mention that you have? Let us know.
We'll tell you if we agree or disagree.
And hopefully you'll still subscribe.
Maybe. We disagree just to keep them happy. All right.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.